I need to tell you something. Something that might surprise you. Something that goes against everything you've been told your whole life. I have more money than I could spend in 10 lifetimes. I can buy anything I want, go anywher I want, do anything I want. I have everything that society says should make you happy. The cars, the houses, the private jets, the ability to never worry about money again. I have it all. And you know what? It didn't make me happy, not even close. And if you think I'm just saying that, if you think this is some rich person complaining, stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you could change how you think about everything. If you're ready to hear the truth about what actually creates happiness and fulfillment, drop a comment and say, I understand. Let me take you back to a specific moment, a moment when I realized that everything I'd been chasing was meaningless. I was sitting alone in one of my houses, big house, beautiful house, expensive house, the kind of house that people dream about owning, and I was completely, utterly miserable. I had just closed a massive deal, made hundreds of millions of dollars in a single day, the kind of money that most people can't even conceptualize, and I felt nothing. Empty, hollow, like I'd climbed this enormous mountain and reached the top only to realize there was nothing there. And I thought, is this it? Is this what I worked so hard for? Is this what I sacrificed relationships and sleep and peace of mind for? A big house that I'm sitting in alone? A bank account with numbers so large they're meaningless? The ability to buy things I don't even want. That's when it hit me. Money. Recapio Creative. Daily YouTube recaps in your inbox. Stop listening for hours. Start reading in minutes. Every morning at 8 a.m. our AI-powered digest lands in your inbox with all key insights from your favorite YouTube channels. Start your daily recaps. Sponsored. Doesn't create happiness. It just doesn't. And I know that sounds like something a rich person would say. I know you might be thinking, easy for you to say when you have billions, but I'm telling you this because I've been on both sides. I've been broke, really broke, sleeping on friends' couches, showering at the YMCA broke, and I've been wealthy beyond anything I could have imagined. And I can tell you from direct experience, money solves money problems. That's it. That's all it does. When you don't have money, you have money problems. You worry about rent, about bills, about whether you can afford groceries or gas or unexpected expenses. Money solves those problems, and that's valuable. That's important. I'm not saying money doesn't matter. I'm saying it doesn't create happiness. Once you have enough to not worry about money problems anymore, more money doesn't make you happier. It just gives you different problems. You know what made me happy? You know what actually created fulfillment and meaning and a sense that my life mattered? It wasn't buying my first mansion. It wasn't buying my first Ferrari. It wasn't seeing my net worth hit $1 billion. It was the moment when SpaceX successfully landed a rocket for the first time. When we proved that reusable rockets were possible, when we took a step toward making humanity a multiplanetary species, that moment, that feeling, that sense of we did something that matters. We pushed humanity forward. We made the impossible possible. That's what made me happy. That's what created fulfillment. Not the money, not the success, not the recognition, the knowledge that I was working on something bigger than myself, something that would matter long after I'm gone, something that would make a real difference in the world. And I need you to understand something. I'm talking to you specifically, you who are in your 50s, 60s, maybe 70s, you who spent your whole life working, providing for your family, building your career, saving for retirement, chasing financial security. And maybe you achieved it. Maybe you have the house paid off, the retirement account funded, the financial security you worked so hard for. And now what? Now you're realizing that financial security doesn't equal happiness, that having enough money doesn't create meaning, that all those years of working for money you never stopped to ask, what am I working for? What's the point of all this? Or maybe you didn't achieve the financial security you hoped for. Maybe you're looking at your retirement account and it's not what you wanted it to be. Maybe you're worried about money. Maybe you're thinking, I worked my whole life and I don't even have enough to be comfortable. And I'm telling you, even if you had 10 times as much, it wouldn't make you happy. It would just solve the money problems. But it wouldn't create meaning. It wouldn't give you purpose. It wouldn't make you feel like your life mattered. So, what is what actually creates happiness and fulfillment and meaning? I can tell you from experience, from having everything that money can buy and realizing it's not enough, from being at the top and feeling empty, from having all the external success and still feeling like something's missing. What creates happiness is purpose, is working on something that matters, something bigger than yourself, something that will outlast you, something that makes a difference. That's it. That's the secret. And it's not a secret at all. Every person who's ever been truly happy, truly fulfilled will tell you the same thing. Happiness comes from meaning, from purpose, from feeling like what you do matters. Think about the happiest moments of your life. Really think about them. Were they the moments when you bought something expensive, when you got a big paycheck, when you looked at your bank account and felt secure? Or were they moments when you helped someone, when you created something, when you accomplished something difficult, when you made a difference in someone's life, when you were part of something bigger than yourself? I bet it was the latter. I bet your happiest memories aren't about acquiring things or having money. They're about moments when you felt like you mattered, when you felt connected to something meaningful, when you felt like you were contributing something valuable to the world. And here's what breaks my heart. Here's what I see all the time. I see people your age who spent their whole life chasing money, working jobs they didn't love, making sacrifices, delaying gratification, all for financial security, and now they have it, or they're close to it, and they're miserable, because they're realizing that financial security isn't the same as fulfillment, that having enough money isn't the same as having enough meaning. And they don't know what to do. They've reached the goal they spent decades pursuing, and now that they're there, they realize the goal was wrong. The prize wasn't worth it. They won a game that didn't matter, and they don't know how to create meaning now. They don't know what to do with the rest of their life. So they just exist. They maintain their lifestyle. They spend their money on comfortable things. They fill their time with distractions, but they're not happy, they're not fulfilled, they're not living with purpose. Don't let that be you. Please don't let that be you, because you still have time. You still have the opportunity to make your life about something that matters, something bigger than money, something that will create real fulfillment. Let me tell you about two people I know, both in their 60s, both financially comfortable, both retired from successful careers. One of them spends his time playing golf, watching TV, traveling to resorts. Comfortable life, no financial worries, no stress, and he's miserable, completely miserable. He feels useless, like his life is over, like he's just killing time until he dies. He has everything money can buy, and it means nothing to him. The other one volunteers at a homeless shelter. He spends his days helping people who are struggling, people who are at the lowest point in their lives. He doesn't get paid. He doesn't get recognition. He just shows up and helps. And he's the happiest person I know. He has purpose. He has meaning. He feels like what he does matters. He goes to bed every night knowing he made a difference in someone's life. And that creates a kind of fulfillment that money can never buy. That's the difference. That's what I'm trying to tell you. One person has comfort but no purpose. The other has purpose and doesn't need comfort to be happy. One person spent his life chasing money and is now discovering it's not enough. The other person found meaning and discovered that's all you need. Which one do you want to be? Because you're choosing right now with how you spend your time, with what you prioritize, with what you think is important. You're choosing whether your remaining years are going to be about comfort and distraction or about purpose and meaning. And I'm telling you, from someone who has all the money in the world, choose purpose, choose meaning. Choose to spend your remaining years working on something that matters, something bigger than yourself, something that will make a difference. Because that's what will make you happy. That's what will create fulfillment. That's what will make you look back at the end and think, I lived well, it mattered, my life had purpose. It doesn't have to be something huge. It doesn't have to be curing cancer or solving world hunger. It just has to matter. It has to be something you believe in, something that contributes, something that makes the world a little bit better than it was. Maybe it's mentoring young people, sharing your knowledge and experience, helping them avoid the mistakes you made. That matters. That makes a difference. Maybe it's volunteering for a cause you care about, something that aligns with your values, something that helps people or animals or the environment that matters, that creates meaning. Maybe it's creating something, art, writing, music, crafts, something that expresses who you are, something that brings beauty or joy or insight into the world. That matters. It's purposeful. Maybe it's being there for your family in a deeper way, not just showing up for holidays, but really being present, really helping, really contributing to their lives in meaningful ways. That matters. That creates legacy. Maybe it's learning something new and then teaching it to others, becoming an expert in something you care about, and then sharing that knowledge. That matters. That's contribution. Maybe it's starting a small business or nonprofit that solves the problem you've noticed, that fills a need, that makes life better for people in some way. That matters. That's impact. Whatever it is, it needs to be about more than just you, more than just your comfort, more than just filling time. It needs to be about contribution, about making a difference, about leaving the world a little better than you found it. Because here's what I've learned. Here's the truth that took me years and billions of dollars to figure out. Legacy isn't about, how much money you made. It's not about what you owned or what you bought or how comfortable your life was. Legacy is about impact, about contribution, about what you changed, about what you made possible, about how you helped, about what you left behind. That matters. When I died, nobody's going to care how much money I had. Nobody's going to care about my houses or my cars or my net worth. What they're going to care about is, did he move humanity forward? If you have, did he make a difference? Did his life matter? Did he contribute something valuable to the world? And you know what? The same is true for you. When you die, your grandchildren aren't going to sit around talking about your bank account. They're not going to measure your life by your financial success. They're going to ask, what did they stand for? What did they contribute? What difference did they make? What can we learn from how they lived? What's your answer going to be? What legacy are you building right now? Not with your money, with your time, with your choices, with your focus, with your remaining years? Are you building a legacy of comfort and consumption, or a legacy of purpose and contribution? I spent years chasing money, building companies, making billions, and it was empty. It was meaningless. It didn't create happiness or fulfillment or purpose. What created that was when I shifted my focus. When I stopped thinking about how much money I could make and started thinking about what difference I could make. When I stopped building companies to get rich and started building companies to change the world, SpaceX isn't about making money. It's about making humanity a multiplanetary species. Tesla isn't about making money. It's about accelerating the transition to sustainable energy. Everything I do now is about impact, about contribution, about making a difference, and that's what creates fulfillment. That's what makes me happy. Not the money, the meaning. And you can have that too. Right now, you don't need billions of dollars. You don't need to start a rocket company. You just need to shift your focus from what can I get to, what can I give, from how comfortable can I be to how much difference can I make, from what do I want to, what does the world need that I can provide. That shift, that change in perspective, that's what creates happiness. That's what generates fulfillment. That's what gives your life meaning. And it's available to you right now, today. You just have to choose it. Stop chasing comfort. Stop focusing on maintaining your lifestyle. Stop trying to accumulate more. Start asking, what can I contribute? How can I help? What difference can I make? What can I do with my remaining time that will matter, that will create impact, that will leave a legacy worth leaving? Because I promise you, from someone who has everything money can buy, money isn't the answer. Purpose is, meaning is, contribution is, working on something bigger than yourself is that's what creates happiness. That's what generates fulfillment. That's what makes life worth living. And you still have time. You still have the opportunity. You still have years ahead of you. Maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe more. However much time you have, you can spend it on something that matters, something that makes a difference, something that creates a legacy you can be proud of. But you have to choose it. You have to decide that the rest of your life is going to be about more than just comfort, more than just spending your retirement money, more than just filling time until time runs out. It's going to be about purpose, about meaning, about contribution, about making a difference. That's what made me happy. Not the money, the mission, the purpose, the feeling that what I'm doing matters. And that's available to you too right now, today. You just have to choose it. So, what's it going to be? Are you going to spend your remaining years chasing comfort and security and discovering they're not enough? Or are you going to spend them pursuing purpose and meaning and discovering that's all you ever needed? The choice is yours. But I'm telling you from someone who's been at the top of the money mountain and looked around and realized it's not what matters. Choose purpose. Choose meaning. Choose contribution. That's where happiness lives. That's where fulfillment exists. That's what will make you look back at the end and think, I lived well. My life mattered. I made a difference. Money didn't make me happy. Purpose did. Mission did. Working on something bigger than myself did. And it will do the same for you. If you choose it, if you pursue it, if you make it the focus of your remaining years. And let me tell you something else, something that haunts me. I have 13 children, and I have enough money to provide for them and their children and their children's children. 3 generations could live comfortably without ever working a day in their lives. That should feel good, right? That should feel like success. Like, I did my job as a father. I secured their future, but it terrifies me because I know what money without purpose does to people. I've seen it. I've watched people who inherit wealth become empty shells. They have everything and they do nothing. They have no drive, no motivation, no reason to push themselves, no reason to grow because why would they? Everything is already taken care of. Every need is already met, so they just drift, they consume. They exist, but they don't live, they don't create, they don't contribute. They don't become anything. And I don't want that for my children. I don't want them to have comfortable, meaningless lives. I'd rather they struggle and find purpose than have everything and find nothing. Because what's the point of giving them financial security if it robs them of the thing that actually creates happiness? If it takes away their motivation to do something meaningful with their lives. That's why I try to instill in them the importance of mission, of purpose, of working on something that matters. I tell them the money is there if you need it, but don't let it be enough. Don't let financial security be the end of your ambition. Use it as freedom. Freedom to take risks. Freedom to work on hard problems. Freedom to pursue what matters without worrying about survival. But don't let it make you comfortable. Don't let it make you lazy. Don't let it rob you of purpose. Because I've learned this the hard way. Money is a terrible goal. It's a useful tool, but it's a terrible destination. And if you make it your destination, when you get there, you'll realize you're nowhere. You'll have everything and nothing at the same time. You'll be financially rich and spiritually bankrupt. And no amount of money can fix that. Only purpose can. Only mission can. Only working on something bigger than yourself can. Share this if it resonated. Subscribe for more truth and comment below. What's your purpose? What difference are you going to make with the time you have left? Let's build legacies that matter. Your mission starts now.